Hello and welcome back to another session of Therapy and Panels. Today's going to be a special day as I actually have a manga for all of you to look at with me today. Well, I've been going through a little exercise regimen lately and I got a little over myself with it and yeah, it didn't go as well as I was thinking it would have. Anyway, the regimen I was based off of a One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a Japanese superhero manga series created by One, originally as a web comic manga in 2009. It tells the story of Saitama, an independent superhero who, having trained to the point that he can defeat any opponent with a single punch, grows bored due to lack of challenges. He sets out to find powerful opponents while allying himself with other heroes. And with that, let's see just how powerful this Saitama is as we take a look at the first arc of One Punch Man. The cover is pretty awesome, showing our hero Saitama looking all epic as it appears he just punched a hole in a monster in the background over here. One thing I did forget to mention earlier, the art for the manga is done by Yusuke Murata, since One's artwork is, well, no comment. We open the story with a city being destroyed by Piccolo's cousin over here, and the destruction is shown on the news as a bald individual just casually decides to go check it out. Meanwhile, Piccolo, during his destruction, encounters a young girl crying for her parents, and having PTSD from his time training a young Gohan, decides to kill this one, but she's saved at the last minute by our hero Saitama. When asked who he is, we get the best response for a superhero I have ever heard, that being he's just a guy being a hero for fun. Dude, someone actually listened to one of my complaints about comic book tropes. Holy crap. Piccolo here seems to not enjoy that response and explains that he was born from the constant pollution we cause on the earth and states his name is Vaccine Man and he will save the earth by getting rid of us humans. During this whole dialogue, Saitama here has the best facial reactions for this. Did I leave the stove on? Anyway, just when Vaccine Man transforms into this hideous abomination, he is quickly dealt with from Saitama with just one punch. Huh. That was easy. We end the first chapter with Saitama here very upset that another fight ended with just one punch. The beginning of the next chapter starts 3 years earlier as this young business-looking man comes across this sad excuse of a cosplay I have ever seen in my life. The creature is actually named Crablante and asks the young man why he isn't running away from him. His response kind of hits hard as he apparently failed a job interview and guessing this is just a line of failures, he just doesn't care anymore. Wow. This is kind of hitting home a little bit for me here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, I'm good now. But out of both sympathy and looking for a young boy with a cleft chin, Crablante decides to let the man go. Later on, while walking home, the young man spots a boy with, good lord, that is a chin. This kid must be related to Leno. Remembering that Crablante was looking for a cleft chin child, he talks to the kid, realizing that he is only going after him because earlier when sleeping, the kid drew nipples on his chest. Before the guy can decide on what to do, Crablante appears and strikes, but the kid is saved at the last moment. While protecting the kid, he remembered that as a child, he always wanted to be a hero strong enough to defeat his opponents with a single blow, and decides this is what he wants to do with his life. After getting his butt kicked for a bit, he finally defeats Crablante in a way I don't feel comfortable enough to show all of you, and I'm also just not sure how YouTube would feel about it. But we cut back to the present day as it is revealed the man was Saitama, remembering why he is doing the whole hero thing to begin with as we end Chapter 2. Chapter 3 begins with brothers Fukegao and Morigori as they have completed the ultimate steroid, which Morigori takes, changing him into one of the Titans from Attack on Titan. Now with the two brothers, one being the brains and the other brawn, they go to take over the world. During the destruction of a city, Morigori is thinking about how he has always wanted to be strong. His dream seems to be a reality now, as he was able to take down an entire city with just one punch. During the middle of enjoying the carnage, Fukegao notices that someone is on Morigori's shoulder and yells for him to kill the guy. Unfortunately for Fukegao, Morigori is not the brightest and smacks the wrong shoulder, accidentally killing his brother. As he is in the middle of grieving, saying all he wanted was to be strong, Saitama here interrupts with the dumbest looking of smiles, asking him how it feels. Morigori just begins to pummel Saitama to the point all that remains is a giant crater in the ground. But to his shock, Saitama is still alive and states how being the strongest just leaves you empty inside as he jumps up and again with just one punch defeats Morigori, and stating how it's just boring. Ending Chapter 3. The fourth chapter begins with Saitama having the most aggressive alarm clock of all time as a giant hand bursts through his wall, throwing him out of the building, destroying his apartment. Before he can even catch his breath, he is attacked again and to his shock realizes these creatures are very strong. These terrifying looking things are called subterraneans, who want to destroy us surface dwellers. And seeing how Saitama is the first of them to live from one of their punches, they have to deal with him quickly as they all attack. This whole fight here is pretty epic, almost feeling like I am reading a Dragon Ball manga. And during this all-out fight, Saitama is thinking to himself, he is confused about this feeling he's having, until he realizes it's the excitement of fighting someone strong. He manages to deal with the subterraneans, but gets introduced to their king. And just as he's about to begin the fight, he wakes up at the sound of his alarm clock, realizing it was a dream. But not entirely, as right outside, the subterranean king appears, wanting to take over the world, but sadly Saitama deals with him with just one strike, causing the rest of the subterraneans to return underground in retreat. And that concludes the first arc of One Punch Man. And for my final diagnosis, this is an awesome series. The art is fantastic, and I love how Saitama's art style changes depending on his mood of him being serious, dumb, or just whatever. And the whole joke of him dealing with the big bad with one punch really is a hilarious joke, even though it's just basically what happens every time. You just will enjoy just seeing the guy get taken out. I highly recommend grabbing the manga, or if you can't, at least locating the anime. And with that, that is the end of today's session. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I am the Superguru signing off, and tune in for next time as we head into Therapy and Panel's first edition of Black History Month.